Hey everybody, we thought we would take you on a cemetery tour. We found this book, Cemeteries of the Western Sierra, and I said, hey, that would be pretty neat to take people on some old cemetery tours for the month of October.
Yeah, a little spooky, scary stuff, even though it's not.
Yeah, not too scary, but pretty cool.
Yeah.
And in the book, it told us about a historical figure that was buried here at one time. His name was William Alphonse Sutter.
Hmm.
He was son of John Sutter, the founder of Sutter's Fort. And not only was he the founder of Sutter's Fort, that was back in 1839. Um, John Sutter also was recognized because it was the site of the first gold discovery in California, which started the whole gold rush back in 1848.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting fact.
Hmm. And
So, through our research of the book and stuff, we found out it's actually he was buried here at one point, and then somewhere along the line, they actually took his remains and took him down to where his family is buried in Sacramento,
yeah,
the Sutter's Fort graveyard or somewhere in
yeah,
that area.
yeah. So Sutter's Fort is in Sacramento, and they took him in 1963, 100 years after he died. So they took him back down to Sutter's Fort with his family, his
Yeah.
dad.
But the marker is still here where he once was laid, a little overgrown.
Yeah. So this is an empty grave. Oh,
Yeah. One of the few that we know of that are empty in this graveyard.
yes. And through reading this book, I was under the impression that this was the only thing in this graveyard. There were several graves here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting that. I just thought that this was the only guy here, and it was empty. And then walking around, there's clearly a lot more.
Yeah, you'll see further on in the video that there's a lot. And there's a whole lot of depressions where it looks like those graves with no markers. So that was kind of creepy.
Yeah, very creepy.
Here's a picture of William Alphonse Sutter, and here's his dad, John Sutter,
Hmm. And these are a couple pictures of Sutter's Fort that we took
a few years back.
several years ago.
But yeah, it's a really cool place if no one's been there before.
Hmm.
Looking at the old artifacts, and they have a lot of original old stuff.
They do a lot of reenactments of things that happen there.
They were doing tack bread and making the dolls out of corn husks.
And uh, making blankets and I don't know, all kinds of good stuff down there.
But yeah, so we just kind of toured around this graveyard, and they don't really keep it up anymore, so it's kind of eerie on that end too. Everything's kind of falling apart, kind of, and just aging, since 1800s.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, this is a wild graveyard. Like broke off stones, no markers. It's random, and there's all kinds of these impressions and temples where the ground is sunken. So I don't know if those are all unmarked graves. Kind of random. So there's a temple. I'm trying to walk around. They do look like about a 6 foot. Here's a grave. This memorial originally marked the grave of Honorable Aaron A. Sargent,
Laurel Hill Cemetery, San Francisco. When that cemetery was being removed in 1940, the memorial was transferred to the Native Sons of the Golden West at Pioneer Cemetery in Nevada City, which was the scene of this distinguished pioneer's early activities. He rededicated it in 1949.
So this is just a monument. He's not actually here. They spread his ashes on his property where he lived. But he was more famously known for, he introduced the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, giving the women the right to vote. Well, that's an interesting fact.
Yeah.
But the women like that one.
Thanks, Guy.
Dimples. Looks like this used to be mounted. There's an old wood marker over there. Yeah, look this way, there's a whole bunch. 1854. That's weird, that was another one I read over there that said age 36. So long. And then this guy. Is there a rating on it? September 17th, 1854, 35 years old. There's a bunch of young ones. More over that way. Look at this old wood marker. It was a cross, it looks like that is no longer a cross. That was an old wood marker, an old wood headstone. It was only 29 years old. Here's another marker. They're so random. Another 26-year-old. There's more over there. This marker. And all these dimples. That one has a broke off stone on it. Something way down in that corner. This looks like a new one. This is 25. Or no, 15.
And we found another interesting site here. This one was a guy named Henry Meredith, and he was involved in a punitive expedition in conflict with a group of Paiute Indians and Americans at Pyramid Lake, where he was left shot and scalped. And his last words to the guys were, "No, leave me here. I might put you in peril." And they engraved that on his headstone here, which was kind of eerie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, interesting fact. So, anyways, we're gonna let this finish playing out. We had to cut the audio because it was horrible. It was so loud walking through there with all the pine cones and stuff. The crunching was louder than we were talking.
Yeah.
So, I hope you enjoy.
Like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.